everybody. Thank you for joining us today for episode number 27 of the Tattoo Weekly, hosted by myself, Lauren Gregory, Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now, and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network. Today's guest is a well-known and respected artist and owner of Super Genius Tattoo in Seattle, Washington, Damon Cochlin. Damon is an accomplished artist known for drawing with markers and Procreate. He teaches marker techniques, hints, tips, and tricks that he's discovered over 30 years of drawing. Damon also has a stamped brush set that is available on Tattoo Smart. We're going to be bringing in Damon about 1:30 today, so stay tuned. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or the Reinventing website, let us know that these streams are working in the chat, or tag a friend who loves tattoos and would like to join in on some of our fun. You can check out some of the Reinventing weekly drawing groups and shows on the Reinventing Network too. You can find us at reinventing247.com, classrooms.reinventingthetattoo.com, and as Gabe will talk about shortly, our new Roku channel. We do want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us push cool content like this to you guys all the time. We are supported by World Tattoo Events, giving us the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events in the world. Thank you to Raw Pigments with their acrylic-free pigments, and D-Lies Pro, helping artists and clients protect their art. Of course, thank you to our affiliates, Fireside Tattoo, The Apprenticeship Diaries, and eco-friendly tattoosupplies.com. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Gabe, and maybe even Jake is here right now. Let's go ahead and see how everybody's doing. What's up, Gabe?
Hey, how goes it? I've just been firing everything up in the background to make sure that it is working, and it actually seems like it is working.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just another day in paradise. I mean, this is actually Paradise City, kind of the area here. So
yeah. So let's run through some introductions quick, and then we'll roll our clip and jump right in. How's it going, Jake?
Okay.
Hey guys, how are you guys?
Excellent.
Good.
Well, I'm Lauren. As I said before, I'm with Reinventing the Tattoo, some of the events management type of things and back end with Gabe. And I'm also with Raw Pigments. So yeah, great. Happy to be here.
Oh, awesome. I had some repeats going on in my background. Is this still introductions?
Yep.
Still introductions.
Okay. I'm Gabe Ripley. I love helping amplify awesome artists to leave better people through tattoos to make the world a better place. It's cheesy, but tattooers do it if you want to, and people can, whatever. It's still early. Tattoos make the world a better place by making better clients, better people, or something if they want to be. Anyways.
Yeah, that wasn't
I'll
very
be better after my
enthusiastic.
tea. I'm trying to start with why, right?
Start with why. Hey everybody, I'm Jake of the Fireside Tattoo Network, where we focus on blurring the lines between tattooing and fine art. You can find us at firesidetattoo.com or on the YouTubes, where 5 folks are watching right now.
All right. I will go ahead and roll our clip. All right, we're back.
You know, every time that intro gets me, I'm like, this is a pretty fucking cool intro. Oh, and then there's this, I got to edit it and then, oh, it hasn't been on Sundays in forever.
Yeah, I see that every time. And we've mentioned it before. We just haven't fixed it.
For 27 episodes, probably, or maybe 24 episodes.
Who has the project file? Is it your project?
No one does. I must have done it
to
drunk one night. I've looked for it at least a half a dozen times. It's probably on that computer. But
I bet you I can help you find it. It was saved as inro and not intro without the T. So finding the file is going to be INR.
Yeah. Text it over to me. I'll look for the right word. Maybe I just, like I said, I was probably drunk and I was like, I can't stand this. We need to make something.
That's great.
It is cool.
I'm usually not like that. And again, this is an in-house project for any of my clients. Don't worry, I'm never working on your projects drunk. And that was months ago. I've been drinking a lot less. Yeah. Although I did go to see, I mean, on a quick aside, I went to go see an amazing blues band at my old tattoo studio space, which was a trip because I got like rudely it was a crash course in how not to run a tattoo shop. But I didn't want the space to, Jake, I think you remember, it's a beautiful space and it was a beautiful band. So it was good to see that people are picking up with it and moving forward.
Yeah. Does it look similar? I mean,
still has the gold ceilings and the chandeliers and stuff. And yeah, the band was like, oh man, this place is beautiful. We'll play here all night. We'll play the blues all night. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's great.
But, that's a good way to hit the heartstrings.
Yeah.
That was good. Like I said, it's life goes on, and I'm also consulting. So part of what I've been doing this last 2 weeks, there's 2 different clients that I've been working with. So it's a lot of fun to be able to, chat with lots of other people and then come home too. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you misspelled intro, and Lauren, that you remembered it and no one fixed it. That's exactly the way that it works in the world of Fireside, where it's just like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like I misspelled that in that one. That's why I can't find it.
Funny. And I have this crazy weird memory of things. I'll remember all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's great. Well, how was everyone's week? I missed, everyone's 2 weeks. I missed last week unintentionally. I got stuck in the airport. I was while you guys were doing the Tattoo Weekly, I was still trying to stretch out my stiff neck from sleeping on the airport floor at the gate, which no one my age should try to do. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. You're better off staying awake with coffee all night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. You know what I didn't realize? I was thinking, I got in so late. I had a lot of flight issues, and I got stuck in Charlotte, and it was so late that I was like, by the time I go, they even gave me a hotel voucher, and I was thinking, it's 1 o'clock. I fly out at 6:30. By the time I get to a shuttle and get to a room and then get the shuttle back, I won't sleep for 2 or 3 hours. I'll just stay here. And about halfway through the night, I was like, I would do anything for that 2 to 3 hours in an actual bed. That was the worst mistake I could have made.
I've been there several times.
Yeah,
it blows.
Yeah,
but you made it out, so happy to
made
see
it out.
you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was last Monday. I was a little slow. I did get home kind of mid-morning, but I was kind of lazy on the couch for most of the day, just trying to recuperate. So
well, let's hear about it too, right? You got to tell us about the tattoo.
It was great. It was great. Yeah, if you guys, I put by Andy Chambers. I put together a little video on my social media, just a clip of what all he got done, and yeah, man, he's rolling through it, and it was great because for the first time I actually got to watch a good bit of the tattoo. It's a back piece, it's a neck to ankle back piece. It's a full back, but it's starting to like wrap around my legs a little bit, and
so this is Andy's work here.
That's Andy's work on my Instagram. The last video that I posted, I think I posted it as it wasn't a story. If you go to Plug Ugly Art, I think it's in my actual whatever feed.
I was watching. I think I might have seen it of your leg, kind of looking down.
Yeah,
your leg.
Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, so we and I did it with music and everything, but you don't need the music to see what all he got done. This down on my lower leg is actually a cover up of my first tattoo, Green Eggs and Ham. And you can't see it anymore. He did a great job getting rid of it. It's under that koi. So that was day one. He got all of that cover up done. I love this fin in the back. This kind of grays to yellows is such a beautiful color combination. That was my hotel. This is where I always stay when I'm there. It's close to his shop. And then day two, we worked on my outer leg. What's so cool about this piece, that kind of glowing green yellow koi is actually the spirit, like the soul of leaving the actual koi that he's coloring right there. So this is a story of kind of persistence and stick-to-itiveness. So all these koi are swimming upstream, trying to morph into dragons, and they're dying along the way. So this is the soul or the ghost of a koi kind of escaping the body. We were both talking about what a cool job Steve Moore did with this tattoo a couple of years back of this fallen, what was it? It's like a knight, like a warrior, and the soul is escaping the body. And so Andy and I have been talking a lot about tattooing like ghosts or souls leaving the body. I don't know how it
now you have us on Steve Moore's portfolio here.
Yeah, he has a couple of new ones that he's posted lately that are really, really nice. That one's awesome, and then that first one as well. But yeah, so Andy and I've been talking about that, about like drawing for tattoos that have like spirits leaving the body just as a theme, and so that koi, that the green koi that he was coloring on me was kind of an afterthought. We had the regular koi, and then he basically just re-stenciled the exact same koi, like set back. So it's just like a carbon copy of the main koi, and but we did it all in these lime greens, so it's kind of like leaving the body. It's a super, it's really, really well done. I already had a lot of that color on my lower leg, and so we just pulled that same green up into the koi, and I'm enjoying watching him. It's been fun. So what about you guys? What's new in your world in the last week, 2 weeks?
Well, one of the things that you kind of know that I've been working on is geeking out on best in class anchor pages, pyramid pages, for the Fireside, for the NFT series, and it's great. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of like just dissect each of the videos. So it gives me more opportunity to watch the videos. But yeah, it's pretty fun to like just break everything down, and it's so similar to I suppose tattoo design, whatever. It's like important pieces, primary, tertiary, primary, secondary, tertiary, something like that, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And that's great. So I'm very excited to get more people to be able to watch those videos, and it's also fun to listen to those videos because they're all about tattoos and NFTs. And
those videos turned out great. You know what? And we finished that series now. It's funny. The other night, Nick Baxter texted me kind of late and was like, "Hey, it's like not your fault at all, but whenever you, on that last episode I just watched, he's like, whenever you were scrolling through my work on OpenSea, my NFT series, you actually clicked on a copy, someone who's like scamming me." And they're like, he was like, and you were scrolling through theirs and not mine. He's like, and 3 or 4 people have bought NFTs from that scam site thinking that it's
fuck.
Oh my God.
I was just like, man, I don't know what to say.
Okay. Well, it's Bitcoin. They ain't getting that shit back, right?
Right. Yeah. So he was
Although,
like,
part of it was we're also talking about how it's like getting a pack of baseball cards. You never know what you're going to get of it.
You never know what you're going to get, especially if you're buying from a knockoff NFT page. So the links that I included. So if anyone does watch those videos and they want to follow Nick or Frank Sinatra or Jesse Smith's NFTs, the correct links are in the video. It's just in the B-roll while we were talking, I clicked on some scammer and I was scrolling through their versions of Nick's stuff. So it's not like I linked to the wrong place. It's just,
Sure.
Yeah. But it just goes to show it is definitely the Wild West out there. There are a lot of people trying to make a buck on NFT scams and, crypto scams.
Yeah. Well, to the business point, I'll just be real quick so Lauren can tell us how her week was. But to the scamming point, make sure you keep your domain names registered. We've been doing Tattoo Now websites for tattooers 25-ish years. Every once in a while, people will let their domains lag. Whatever. What do I need it for? I've got fucking MySpace, and then all of a sudden, you get it re-registered by somebody that's like making ads off of it because people actually still do go to sites. But these days, like some of the scammers, when they re-register domains for people, I've had a couple pretty famous artists just let it lapse. They have like real websites behind them now. It's like, I think it's a fucking WordPress powered website with articles, fucking, not deep dive pages, but like, articles on the artists with ads. Wow. So it's fucking crazy. So keep your domains registered. And if you registered like 20 years ago with an email, it's worth hunting down before you lose it.
I could tell you that time and time again. Absolutely, Gabe. Yeah, the domain registrations, like sometimes people only do them for 1 or 2 or 3 years at a time, so that stuff creeps on you quick and you forget, and maybe you registered with an email that's old and you don't get the notifications about your domain getting cut off. So yeah.
Yeah. My old shop, which was the original custom shop in Memphis, it's not my old shop. I don't own it, but I worked there for about 15 years. It's called Underground Art. And Angela, who owns it, was really kind of proactive early on and got the domain undergroundart.com, which is a pretty cool domain to have. And then she let it lapse one time. Someone snagged it up and she's never been able to afford to get it back. And now, she has a shop called Underground Art with a website called like Making Mama Proud or something like that, completely unrelated. And people have gotten to know that over the years. But whenever she first lost that domain, it was like, at the time they wanted, $1,500, $2,000. She was like, I can't pay, I can't pay that. And then now it's just gotten more. Now there's no chance I think she could get it back at all. So,
Yeah. You can set up, if you guys are watching and you're unfamiliar with how to purchase a web domain, maybe we could do that, in real time sometime on one of the episodes. But you can. I remember when I purchased one of ours for the ink company, it was like, $2,000 or whatever. So I just did a little payment plan, waited, I secured it, waited, and then it was mine after a little bit of time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So-
And can't you can like negotiate, or there are even people who will negotiate on your behalf for websites. I've noticed going to look at some, it'll say, this domain isn't available, but you can get with one of our consultants to see if we can help you acquire it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways you can kind of spin it. So for example, rawpigments.com was unavailable, so we did .co. There's a couple more options available that weren't necessarily there years prior.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you asked about my weekend. It was rather basic, I would say. Some of our guys were in Cleveland, so I might want to share some of the stuff from Jeremy Brown. And then last week when you were gone, we had Antoine Davis join Tony Urbanic. So he and Jeremy, both friends of mine, they did a really cool collab in Cleveland that I'll show you guys.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I hated to miss the machine talk episode. I've never met Tony, but I was looking forward to meeting him.
So this is what
that's
Jeremy
nice.
and Antoine did.
Oh yeah, super cool.
Yeah,
Look at that teal. Yeah.
This is the second time I've seen them collaborate on a large scale or large piece, but that's them. That's Jeremy, and Antoine was on last week, and their client here sews.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
They did that over a couple of days, or all 3 days, or
One
what was
day.
it?
So
One day. Whoa.
One day. Yep.
Mhm.
There
Yeah.
may be one on Antoine's Instagram of them working side by side.
Nice. Wow.
Kind of a closer up.
Yeah. Really, really nice. Okay, so it's just an outer arm piece. Yeah, so I can
Yeah.
see that now. Right.
All these, but yeah,
Ah.
geez. Well, and Antoine Davis, and then Jeremy Brown tattoo.
Yeah. Were you there for that or no?
I didn't go to Cleveland because we're going to be going to Tahoe next weekend, I guess. Is
Oh,
it?
cool.
Oh,
I
by
think
the way,
so.
I'll share one of my little ideas. I was talking to Dax, who puts on the Tahoe tattoo show. And for me, I've got kids, a lot of us have kids that are small. So we're going to be doing a little Easter egg hunt for the adults
Oh, cool.
on Sunday. It'll be kind of fun. I know it's not a religious event at all whatsoever, but
Yeah.
we're going to be hiding some Easter eggs on Sunday morning with some goodies.
Nice.
and some
Is it
fun
on?
surprises.
The show is on Easter weekend.
It's on Easter weekend. So there's Due
Yeah.
South Tattoo Expo, which is an amazing event. I've only heard fantastic things. The promoter
Yeah.
is great. And then there's the Tahoe Tattoo Show, which is, relatively close to Reno, but in the beautiful Lake Tahoe area.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is beautiful.
Mhm.
The Space City is actually Easter weekend as well.
Yep.
I'm teaching a seminar Easter morning.
You're going to Space
Nice.
City?
Yeah, I'll be at Space City, and I've got a seminar. I'm booked to tattoo Friday and Saturday, and then I'm going to teach a seminar on Sunday, and hopefully get some podcasting in Sunday afternoon. I've gotten a little better the last couple of years. Space City is one of those shows where if you're not careful, you Sunday will be a mess for you because their Saturday night party is a lot of fun. So I've had some really, really rough Sundays there, but not this year. This year I'm committed. This year I'm committed to podcasting, and to, more importantly, to a seminar that hopefully people are going to come and check out. Anyone who's going to be there, any tattooers who are in the Southeast area, that's going to be Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And there is a link. I think I linked to it on the Fireside show notes of this episode. You can go there and sign up for it. It's called Find Your Style. I've been teaching it I've taught it a lot of times now, and I think I'm finally starting to figure out how to teach it. I change it every time. So
Find
this
your
time-
style, Jake.
What's that?
Find your
Yeah,
show.
I'm finding my teaching style. That's what it is. I learned so much, last month teaching that workshop and seeing how people interpreted what I was saying and what was working and what wasn't. So I'm going to change a few things up with this seminar. Should be fun.
Actually, the other thing I did last week it is worth mentioning because it's fucking awesome. Is I helped facilitate a couple interviews with Mark from Needle Jig with some more historical interviews. So Marvin Moskowitz from the Bowery and Carrie Barba had a great one also. She's awesome.
Nice.
Like she's just out of control great. And here's the
Yeah, the
So
taco.
yes, it's worth
Don't want to
looking out
interrupt.
for
but
those
just-
coming up. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check that out. I haven't seen those. Has Mark released those yet or no?
No. We just recorded them, and it was pretty sweet because he was like, make sure you get some extra pictures, And I'm like, oh man, I've looked at all the pictures. Everyone's already been asked all the pictures, And well, sure, okay, I'll ask, I guess, And they're both like, oh, here's a lot more pictures. It was like, oh, amazing. So I'm gonna edit in some more, old B-roll, and it's so much fun to learn about all this stuff. Obviously, I hear everybody say, all those young kids that never learn their history. And I'm like, well, I know some of it. I mean, I've worked on a couple of different historical projects. Vintage Tattoo Flash was selling a lot of original Sarah Jerry, so I got to get a lot of stories kind of secondhand from Mike Malone through a collector. But like being part of interviews, on a regular basis, like in the last 6 months it's awesome. And so no, those are going to go up on the Needle Jig YouTube channel.
Nice.
And then there's
How
others.
is Mark doing, by the way?
He's doing good. He had been building. I think he still is picking away at building an airplane, which is pretty nuts.
About that.
He's also, expanding. He got a new warehouse like right next to the one, so he's been moving over and kind of doing some facilities adjustments.
Okay.
And they're killing it. But at first I went, last year I was like, oh man, he's building an airplane. That's crazy. Is that distracted, right? Like, but then all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 weeks later, I was like, that's pretty freaking inspiring. Like, I would definitely trust a guy that could build an airplane, with needles. Not that he wouldn't anyways. Again, he's been making needles for 25 years and field needles and that all for that. So, but anyways, point is about precision engineering and whatnot, and it's pretty cool. The other thing I'm working on with him is a video series on designing a rotary, which is cool. And I thought that I had known quite a bit about tattooing for like somebody who has never tattooed, probably never will. I've obviously taken a lot of seminars and whatnot and produced a lot of seminars. And, but now I'm going through, it's like a 10, 15 hours, maybe even more, step by step, kind of in real time. I think it actually, I mean, it's a little bit slower than real time because he's explaining his thought process, but it's pretty fun because I love 3Ds and engineering. That's cool.
Yeah. Is he physically building the rotary? Mark is?
Or yeah. He's got all the machines and he's got a full, machining setup there. And there's like tubes and all the stuff. Like he's an engineer, or like
He's a pioneer at the same time, engineer and a pioneer for, I would say, modern day where things are sitting. It'd be cool to have him on an episode sometime, Gabe.
Yeah. We can definitely get him on an episode sometime.
I felt
Monday mornings is a little early, but I think that I'll let him know that the official invitation is the invitation. I've been inviting him, and we'll get him on. But an invitation from you is an official invitation that I'll probably take a little more seriously.
Yep. Anytime I talk to Mark in person, it's like, whoa, I learned something, of course. But he's just a great person, very, very smart mind.
Yeah, great guy. I spent a lot of time with him at the Paradise BYOB. And I don't think I had ever met him before that, but I talked to him quite a bit. And he sat in on my seminars and had some good feedback on those. And then we all, the cool thing, one of the cool things about that event and events like that is the instructors getting to sit in on the other, if you're teaching a seminar, you get to sit in on the other seminars. And so we all kind of watch, each other do our talks, which is a lot of fun. And it's cool because you can give honest feedback to each other because you're, because it's going both ways. So
speaking of seminars, Gabe, do you want to touch on some of the stuff that will all be in Hell City coming up next month already? So there's a lot of stuff. Do you want to touch on some of the reinventing happenings that are going on?
I've just finalized the seminar room,
Ooh.
Which means then I get to, tomorrow's Tuesday, so we get to go over reinventing again. Yep. And finalize our reinventing room plans. But yeah, so let's see. So this is the seminar room at Hell City. This is May 20th, 23rd. Let's see. So Friday the 20th. I should probably have more details here, but there's Patrick he has a disposal piercing system that he has set up so that there's it's pretty awesome. It's a free 1 hour seminar. And that goes on. Actually, he'll do that Friday and Saturday. A lot of he teaches for a lot of health department people, so they'll be coming around on Friday to take his seminar there from 3 to 5. Nick Baxter is going to be beaming in. How about this? So we're continuing this, these hybrid video setups. So Nick will be beaming in from Austin, Texas, into Hell City seminar room. But anybody that's taking the seminar at Hell City will have a microphone and a camera and whatnot, so that we could do like in real time video conferencing for the Q&A section. And so anyway, so 3 to 5, Nick is doing his holistic tattoo seminar, the full one, which is fucking great. It really blows people's minds. Matt Clemmer is doing his business one from 6 to 8 on Friday night. He's also doing his on Sunday. Let's see, Saturday, Jinxie.
Oh yeah. Out of step books.
Out of Step Books. She's beaming in to do one for mental health for tattooers. She loves the tattoo world. She often will charge for that seminar, but I think she might be either giving some people deals that might be free, because again, she'll be beaming in from California.
Okay.
Sorry, I turned my my tattoo line back on, so now when people want tattoos, it rings again. And sometimes I go through phases where, because I don't have a tattoo shop anymore, as we talked about, it's like somebody's like asking for advice on how to get a tattoo, and I don't even have to pretend I'm trying to get their business. I'm not actually trying to get their business anymore. So like, whereas I might be a little bit more political or sensitive in a normal conversation with somebody, like I have nothing at stake here, and so I'm just like, I don't know how much you want to spend. I wouldn't spend that much, man. I'd fucking double that and then go talk to these people. Walk-ins, no, you actually want to think about your tattoo. Everybody's too busy to do walk-ins. That's why you just called 6 people. Anyways, okay, so Saturday we've got, and then piercing 3 to 4. Patrick will be doing his piercing again. Okay, Sunday 12:30 to 2:30. Thea Duskin will be doing multimedia for tattoo designs. So she gets together, like, doing like artsy mixed media collage type artwork that has a lot of natural natural embellishments, right? You're throwing the inks down and you're moving shit around, and then taking the mixed media art and then bringing that into the digital realm to do the final tattoo designs and whatnot. So pretty excited that she's going to be doing that. She'll be doing the wet paint project with Chris and the rest of them for the other parts of
Thea's going to be there in person.
Yeah. She'll be there doing, like I said, wet paint. Chris Dingle's always bringing over around a ton of great painters to work for the weekend. So she'll be there painting, and then Sunday she'll be doing her teaching. Clemmer will be doing his business class again, 3 to 5, and then Jesse Smith will be closing out the seminar room events 6 to 8 on Sunday night.
Nice.
So, I'm going to be torn on where to go during that whole weekend.
Yeah. I just talked to Jesse. Sorry, I was texting with Jesse yesterday and trying to figure out, I'm going to help him out with a couple of things at his show, at his Richmond show this fall. And he wanted to hash out some details. I was like, well, maybe we can jump on a call this week. And he said, I'm flying out to Bolivia in a couple of hours and won't be back for some weeks. Like, what? Yeah. What's he? I didn't ask. Do you guys know what he's doing in Bolivia?
He mentioned it.
I believe, right?
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I will interrupt just a little bit. We've got Damon who's joining in about a couple minutes. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, and it's boring, but I'm just going to share this because it's been brought to my attention. So here I've got something called the Body Art Model Code Change Request. It's boring, like I said. So if you guys go to this NEHA website, BAMC Change, you can take a look at their submissions for the Body Art Model Code.
So wait, what's NEHA?
It's like an organization.
Pretend I don't know anything about it.
National Environmental Health Association. National Environmental Health Association, as most people realize, that's kind of the people producing these model codes that health inspectors adhere to. So if you happen to go to this website, you can take a look at their proposition for how the code is going to be, and it's very specific. Go through it, and they're accepting changes until June of 2022. So take a look at their code. It's something that in the AFDO meetings, they've been producing this checklist for several weeks, and everybody's like looking at all of these items on the checklist as to whether or not they should or should not be included. So in this checklist is very specific. For example, I don't have it on the screen right here, but artists would then be responsible for keeping track of every single barcode, batch lot, any of that information on every single tattoo that they do for 1 year. I know that that's similar to what's happening now with like body art, placement, client information, but down to more specific of keeping track of all of the ink. And there's other things, but you have until June 30th of 2022 to submit your comments and on grammar or content in general. So
cool. So this is like, if you are a tattooer or like a tattoo studio,
Yes.
then you'd want to go there. Evidently,
Yep.
one thing on their checklist was not take a picture of a tattoo's focal point.
Yeah. You're talking about that example that they had up there.
Yeah, you got to fire it back up just for the.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Let's
I'm
take a
like,
picture of
whoa.
like the back of somebody's arm so that we could look at the tail end of the koi. But don't worry, the tail will wrap around to the front, so you still can't really
Well,
see.
this is this perfect example, Gabe, because like if you notice NIHA, it doesn't say National Association of Tattooers. So
Right, of course.
when they're asking for advice, it's because they need it probably, or comments,
Sure.
it's because they want it
No,
and need
100%.
it. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So June
Yeah.
30th, 2022, guys,
All right.
is the deadline for that. Otherwise, Damon is here, and let's go ahead and bring him in.
Sweet. By far one of my favorite tattooers in the world.
He's amazing. There he is.
And not just because he's a nice guy. Damon, can you turn your phone sideways?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did that?
almost.
There we go.
There we go. We've got everything. Where
It's
are
weird.
you?
You can't start it sideways. You have to start it vertical and then turn it sideways, or else it won't know it's sideways.
You know, well, that makes a lot more sense of why nearly every time we have a call, and not for you. I'm saying like when we have these group Zoom calls, it's like, oh, you know, part of the new
Oh yeah,
process.
yeah. It's a capable phone. It's not. I wouldn't call it smart. You know.
Voila, awesome. Yeah. Well, I love following your travels. I live vicariously through you. I walk through the woods, and then whenever the social media, like whenever I'm like tugged, I'm like, okay, I'm fucking getting on Facebook because I'm old, and I'm like, oh shit! Like immediately, it throws me one piece of political red meat, and I'm like, no, and then it shows me your travels, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I'm in Mexico City right now. So if there's any like ambient noise that leaks through, I apologize. Megaphones are very stylish here. They use them all the time. I'm in a fancy neighborhood with fancy dogs that wail and sound like, I don't know, sound like tormented souls or something. So
Oh no.
yeah, I think we'll be okay.
What are you doing in Mexico City?
Little or nothing, man. Drawing, walking around, looking at stuff. The same thing I do when I'm home, except it's new stuff to look at when I walk around. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's, so no work while you're there. You don't have any ongoing tattoos in Mexico City or guest spots?
No, I hate to say I don't or I never, but I really almost never do guest spots. And at some point I decided to really take care of my clientele at home and to use my vacations as just creative fuel and inspiration and, whatever.
Yeah.
Has it always been like that?
No, the first 15 years or so that I tattooed, I did 10 or 15 conventions a year. And the first year I threw a convention, it was one of 5 conventions that I was at in 5 consecutive weeks. So, like I got here through experience, not.
Yeah, I could definitely sympathize with you there, because I'm still making the mistake of going and trying to tattoo at conventions, and of course everyone wants to because it's you're seeing people that otherwise could never get tattooed by you, so they have big ideas and they want to start projects, and then you get there and you realize like, I can't tattoo the way that I tattoo at home in this place. There's just no way. And so you end up changing the way that you approach your designs and everything else, and shortcutting, simplifying things so that you can do some half-assed version of what you would do in your own studio.
And in the end, the big win after all of that, which all true, you know what I mean? At the big win at the end is that you have clientele in Wichita, Kansas, and Detroit, and Keokuk, Iowa, and wherever the fuck you were, you know what I mean? And like, right. You want to be good to these people, and you want to come back for them and tattoo their friends, but you don't want to go there 10 years in a row. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
This is cool. What do we got? Oh, this is old. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is a pre-COVID.
Yeah, I think this was maybe. Yeah, it was. It was right before COVID. This is my friend Joby, and he does some concept art and some NFT stuff, but he's also a tattooer and just a very skilled illustrator. So he was teaching us life drawing classes. And,
Nice.
Yeah, super fun.
Do you
Do you want
guys
to tell us a little bit about? Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, do you guys do that in the studio? Do you bring in a lot of people to your studio to do seminars or workshops?
Pre-COVID, we were just starting to get into that, and it was really a lot of fun. And we're probably going to start that back up soon because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was a couple of folks. I was talking to Jesse Smith not too long ago, and they've been trying to bring artists through. And then they'll also test out their own because Jesse, Nick Mitchell, and I think a few other folks are trying to get into teaching workshops and do seminars, and so they'll kind of test out on each other, and so Jesse was saying, maybe bi-weekly or monthly or something, like someone will be charged with like presenting a seminar to the rest of the artists there, and then they just give honest feedback. It's a great idea.
Yeah, that is. I've tested out various seminars of mine on my people. Use my shop as a guinea pig environment, and I will be again. Because some of my guys were asking about some of the 3D stuff I was doing and more Procreate tips or whatever. So just trying to just share and learn and be in that whole circle of where an artist is happy when he's in the learning and sharing circle. To me. Yeah,
absolutely. I was just telling Gabe and Lauren a few minutes ago that I've got one seminar in particular that I've been kind of refining and teaching. I've probably done it 8 or 10 times or more. And then I did it for the first time as a 2-day workshop last month at a shop in North Carolina. And it turned everything that I've been teaching on its head, because I actually had to like put my theories into into use, so like I would charge them with an idea, with an assignment, and then how they interpreted what I was saying, I was able to see, in their sketchbooks. And I went like, oh wait, maybe I should rethink the way that I presented that entire idea, because this isn't what I was going for.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. When you release an idea into an environment, then people take it where they go with it, not where you have envisioned it. Yeah. Cool.
I learned a lot. I'm teaching it as a seminar again in a couple of weeks at the Space City Expo, and I've completely flip-flopped. In fact, I've almost reversed the order of operations and instruction. I've simplified a lot of stuff. I've cut some other things out altogether that I feel like that I thought were so important, ideas that were so important that actually just seemed to confuse matters whenever I presented them in a workshop environment. So hopefully it's better. I'll report back. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, always onward and upward, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully, always onward and upward.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Gabe, were you saying that, or Damon, are you teaching some Procreate stuff now? Is that what Gabe was saying before we jumped on, or what?
I have on and off, and I don't even know if I have any real idea of becoming some like big seminar teaching guy, but if people ask, I'll share. You know what I mean? And if a convention promoter says, "Hey, I want you to teach," then I'll come teach. But in my shop, my shop is almost like a convention anyway, because there's between 10 and 14 of us, depending on how the tides are shifting at any moment. And then if we have a few friends from other shops, like it's already like a crew. And I have some experience, and I share, and having it kind of organized to where I can deliver it in a block of time, like in a seminar, is just the smartest way. And it organizes my own thoughts, helps me, I think. So that was
we will close out the show. I've got like a 7-minute demo that you did for maybe one of the virtual tattoo gatherings or something with Guy, maybe. So
okay.
When we wrap up the show, we'll be able to show people quick little demo, and then you have more of that on your site or on your YouTube channel, I think. I don't know. I don't remember when I don't know how often you update it, but The
Yeah, I
question that I
think
was going to ask was just to kind of go off on, just let everybody know about Super Genius a little bit. I'm not sure we really talked about the shop as much as we should, because it's been 15 years, almost 2 decades, or what? Tell us about Super Genius.
Yeah, I think we turned 20 in January.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
You're no longer a teenager.
That's right. That's
The
right.
shop
Now
is no
I'm
longer a
real-
teenager. Super Genius is no longer a teenager.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't been an extremely long time.
How, and you said you have how many permanent artists there?
There's 11 of us at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now, given that, are you looking for new guest artists or residents? Is this something that, the people that are watching, if, there's a lot of people that are like, woo, Damon's on. Would you encourage them to come through?
We welcome guest artists, if they're capable and friendly. My big shop thing is that we, top of the priority list is we get along. And when I say we get along, I mean we are proactive in getting along, which means if we don't get along, we extend ourselves and look for compromises so that we can get along and we communicate towards the goal of getting along.
Wow, at a tattoo shop.
I have you to thank for me really gelling all of that into one thing and placing it right at the top of the priority list.
Are there
It only works if you're a good leader, which clearly you are.
Are there specific things that you do to ensure that you keep people getting along? Do you have like regular just hangout events or meetings, or what? I mean, or just try to recognize early if there's any tension and deal with it quickly, or?
Yeah, we have shop art nights. We have monthly meetings, which I'll be hosting on Zoom immediately after this.
Awesome.
And then we do occasional fun days. We have one coming up in June where we're going to, I'm going to make the mistake of renting an Airbnb in the mountains somewhere and try to withstand the damage that my shop does to that Airbnb. I think we're pretty responsible partiers, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
Fun days are definitely one of my favorite days. Like when literally when you wake up and like, what's my job? My job is to spend money having fun. The only requirement today is that everyone has fun.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's why it didn't work.
Right. Yeah. You have to balance those days out with work days. Right. Is your artists, your permanent artists, are they all pretty experienced, or do they kind of run the gamut of age and experience?
There's a definite range. I have an apprentice that is beginning to bear fruit and is tattooing walk-ins, and all the way up to my buddy Eric Martz. Oh shit! Oh, okay. The video changed, so I was like, "Whoa, alert!" Yeah, so so Eric Martz works with me, and he's got he's been tattooing longer than I have. I think he hit 30 years.
Oh, nice.
30, bam. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, Kate Lawrence is my apprentice, and she's doing walk-ins on a somewhat limited basis, probably leaving it up to her own discretion if there's something she thinks she can't handle.
Kate Law, is that what?
Kate Law, exactly. Yeah.
It looks nice and clean.
Yeah. She's learning, growing.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we also do a lot of these flash events, and I have these young guys that are so super pumped about tattooing, and the whole like they're traditional guys, and they've really infused a lot of energy into the shop as far as the love for the game, and they've really helped bring these flash events to life too. So they're a lot of fun, and it's kind of somewhere in between a professional tattoo shop and a party all weekend. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you guys kind of apprentice by committee, or does your apprentice work directly under you and?
It's by committee, sure. Yeah. I'm a terrible apprenticeship dad. I mean, I've worked a lot on becoming like more approachable in the workplace and stuff like that. And that has helped. But it's apprenticeship by committee.
Yeah.
And we have such a great committee, like there's such a range of styles and experience, and there's people from different corners of the country. And like, it's just, why not? People who learn radically different ways of tattooing, and the whole point of being in a big group is to benefit from all that varied experience, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Especially, and just from what Gabe, what you're flipping through right there, it looks like there's a wide range of styles, and that's nice for someone who's just trying to figure out kind of the like drawing for tattoos, and then actually technically putting tattoos in skin, seeing that different approaches of being able to kind of grab things that that work for, and maybe ignore things that don't.
Yeah, totally. And then in this day and age, like an apprentice, and when I came up, you wanted to be good at everything, and you wanted to be able to handle everything. And I don't know that that's a strength anymore. The modern apprentices, I've seen them over the last 5 or 10 years, like they come through with a style, and they've got a Facebook following and an Instagram following by the time they get halfway to their apprenticeship, and they've got people lined up to get what they do. Mm-hmm. And why fight the ocean when you can go with the tide on that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to argue. You're exactly right. The only the only downside that I've seen watching some apprentices who are really kind of defined in their style from the very start is that sometimes they end up kind of pigeonholing themselves a little bit, especially if they're doing things that are overly simplistic, and then as their skill set grows, they're still kind of stuck doing these. I'm thinking of 2 people in particular here in my town that are doing very clean, simple, line-based, flashy kind of things, wacky subject matter, because it's fun and trendy or whatever. And I think like, whenever you're ready to kind of outgrow that, you might find that you're fighting an uphill battle, because you're obviously building a following for that kind of, silly, overly simplistic stuff.
Yeah, I think like, especially in different stages of your career, you have different demons to fight. And once you like kind of create a demand for something like that, it's hard to get out of. I've heard a lot of people voicing their opinions on that, but
Yeah, I mean, it happens at all levels. I can remember some years back whenever Russ's 3D geometry stuff was everywhere that you looked, every time you picked your phone up. And I remember talking to him and him saying, man, I would love to just get out of this stuff and start doing some illustrative work. He's like, I've been putting out illustrative stuff and like asking people, please, I'd love to, like, I'll give you priority if I can do some large scale black and gray illustrative work, but nobody wanted that stuff from him. It's like his only value was doing the 3D geometry.
Yeah. Recently, I had a thing where maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, but black and gray is just because the scope of the tattoo industry has gotten so big that black and gray is just easy for people to like, I think, and to wear. So I can do it just good enough that my schedule was filling up with it, and I didn't want to do more than like 10% black and gray. So at some point I just said, no more black and gray. And the first thing that came in was a big neo trad sleeve. The guy wanted me to do whatever I wanted in a basic style with a couple simple things, but black and gray. Because when you make a stand, then there's the test. It's like, no, sorry, man. There's a lot of great black and gray artists in town. Feel free, but I just do color.
Awesome.
So yeah, we do have different demons at different stages, and you gotta wrestle with them as you go. Those people
that you made the decision, and that was that, rather than, because as soon as you turn down from that, like with that cool sleeve project, it's you have to take that demon on again.
Yeah. Well, you got to make decisions in life and try to stand by them. Whatever you think is best according to wherever you're going with your life and your career. So
I hear it so much more though with black and gray artists only specifically wanting to do black and gray, no color. It's interesting to hear your perspective of the opposite. Yeah, and I'd always come across that in my career too, and I always envied people who traveled to conventions with one bottle of ink, and meanwhile I had dark blue ink all over my white shorts and my bag and all that stuff. But so I was like, I'm going to be the guy that I just do color. That's it.
I only bring 10,000 inks to a convention, like, or whatever.
Let me fire up some of the tattoos so that we could look at some of these color ones, because we did a lot of traveling photos, and then we do want to save enough time for one. We got one topic that came in through the news wire that I think would be fun to talk about as we close out. So yeah, here's some of these color tattoos, huh? That shit.
Oh yeah, super nice.
I will say too, Damon, while we're kind of scrolling through some of this stuff, I feel like I just want to applaud you on becoming like a legendary, infamous character. I've seen you before at various events, but it's cool when I hear your name and there's artists commenting in the chat from around the world. So it's really cool. It's just really cool, to talk to you and have you on. So thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's we all just do what we love and try to be as good as we can at it. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life and in my career, and tattooing has forgiven me for those. And I'm getting emotional, but it's always really flattering when people pay you any attention for doing something that I did in my bedroom for free when I was 5. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear. Well, maybe I'll list off some of the folks that have chimed in, because it's definitely more than usual and it's definitely worldwide. So Sam Tidafuana says, "Hi guys, I'm new to your channel with a nice." Exclamation! Hello guys, I'm new to your channel with a big smiley face. We have hello from Croatia. We have
shit. I love Croatia.
Someone that has I have no idea. Armenian. Somebody from Armenia says hello and winks. We have Fiji. Sam is watching from the Fiji Islands. We have Nepal.
Holy wow.
Yo Jenyan says hello. I am from Nepal. Gabriel Santos says I want to make several mini tattoos, closing the left chest and the whole arm. Well, Gabriel, you should. How can people hit you up, Damon? Well, wait, sorry, let's hold that thought. We also have hi from Carlitos, hi from the US, Gabriel Santos, I'm from Brazil. Zakiri says, Viva Chile, peace signs. We've got Jose Joy, okay, it goes on. I'm sorry, everybody. We got Haiti, Thailand.
Okay, from
awesome.
India, I saw commented. He said you're the master, Damon, so that was awesome.
Oh, sweet.
Wow, this is crazy.
That is crazy. This might be the
India.
most diverse audience we've ever had.
Sorry, Ash K. Ash K. Jake, he comes in he's from India anyways. He says, "Woo, Damon Conklin, crazy."
Cool.
Yeah.
Lots of thank yous, amazing.
Yeah.
Atomic is in somewhere. I didn't even look at. I haven't even gotten to the Fireside. Is the Fireside channel going?
Yeah, the Fireside. Yeah, it's been fairly quiet today. We've got Thomas didn't say where he's from. He was talking about the koi that Andy Chambers was doing earlier. Here you go. He just said where he's from. Bronx, New York.
Ooh,
Thomas Colin.
Boogie down.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last topic is I don't know. I'm just going to share it because it came through my news feed. This is a Google news item. Oh no, I'm going to actually get it set up so that I could share it. So I got the Google News feed, that comes through once a day, and usually it's just a bunch of crap about celebrity tattooers. Not that inherently makes it crap, but it is actually crap, and it includes celebrity stuff. But this is the Sun, U.S. Hopefully they won't. We'll just go quick. But it's about someone who got a crappy tattoo, and we could see here. This is actually something that I've encountered at another shop recently. They came in, look, the actual photos that I sent of a tattoo, and this is what I got. And then all of a sudden, because it's the internet, there's all sorts of opinions, both educated and uneducated, about whose responsibility it was to get a good tattoo. Should the artist have said, no, I can't do this? Is it her responsibility to make sure that the artist can do this? I've seen this happen before when people bring in, a lot of the really fine line, like flowers. I know it's coming out of Korea a lot, but these really fine line flowers. Maybe they're done with single or doubles or whatever, but then all of a sudden there's some thick line. But then you bring that really really delicate reference to somebody who's just taking five or whatever, I don't know, and it does not look the same. And so I guess what's everybody's thoughts about? I mean, about it, about, you know,
I can-
who's responsible for getting a crappy tattoo or giving a crappy
We've
tattoo?
heard this time and time again, my body, my choice. I would say ultimately the client is responsible for doing their research, but you know, it does go hand in hand. That's just my perspective. I would do and suggest research your artist time and time again and have those conversations ahead of time. Otherwise it's your expectations that are going to be, you know, shitty or not.
Yeah, I mean, really, the world is full of people who will sell you crap, you know, and the tattoo world is no different. And some of those people think they have really good products, and they don't. And the tattoo world's no different there, also. So inevitably, it does, because, you know, my choice, my body. You know, buyer beware. You know, as the old saying goes. You know, people look at the portfolio.
Mhm.
If you don't see what you want in their portfolio, they are not your person. If you want something very small and all they have is big stuff, they are not your person. If you want something in color and they do black and gray, they are not your person. If you want something detailed and everything they do is bold, they are not your person. Find another person, you know?
Yeah.
And that person does not have flowers that look like the sent in example in their portfolio. I guarantee it. I know for a fact.
Yep. They can't. I
No,
mean, unless they were really drunk that day, like there are some people that are inconsistent, you know,
Yeah.
they're, you know, could potentially be people that have stacked their portfolio with other people's work, but those people get sussed out pretty quick, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, was that at the tattoo convention after party? Maybe, you know, like around 4 a.m. Like, I won't mention any places or anything.
But even then, it is the client's responsibility. You know, I remember, you know, I recently interviewed Sean O'Hara, the guy that got me into tattooing like 25 something years ago. And I remember like any kind of complaint, right? Like he took a lot of the good stuff from the old school, but left a lot of the bad, not all the bad stuff, but most of the bad stuff behind. Anyway, the point is, well, like whenever there was any sort of complaint, he was like, I didn't fucking make you sit down in this chair. Like, you know, it's your, you know, you're here in this chair, you know, you know, be happy, right? And then the other one was a couple of years later, I was going to get, you know, something reworked by another artist in the shop, and the guy, you know, the other artist was like, Sean, do you mind if I rework this? And Sean's like, I don't give a fuck. It's not my tattoo. And I'm like, I was like, that's what I was hoping that he would say, but I was a little offended. I was like, you don't even care, you know? But I realized, like, but to the point, you know, Lauren, you know, it's a client's tattoo. And this is one of the things that Sean got into me real quick. Like he did the tattoo for me. He felt, you know, we wanted to do his best at the time, but then I walked away. It was my tattoo. It was on my body.
Mhm.
And whatever I did to it from there on out, you know, he'd be happy if I came back and when I came back, but it wasn't like he was like, had any sort of like, you know, hold over the body or even over the artwork even. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you sit down to get a shitty tattoo, you know, no one forced you, unless someone forced you to sit in a chair, which is very unlikely.
Well, we are dealing with a general population, and they can be overwhelmed, naive, influenced, influential, whatever it might be. There is a ton of factors that we can't, you know, give too much credit to them for, you know, how much they do and don't know. It's usually, I can do that type of response that you want to probably red flag, you know, stuff like that. But
that piece in particular too, and Gabe, you had sent that to me earlier. I kind of flipped through the article, and the person who got the tattoo kept saying, I can't believe this artist would do this to me and wouldn't just say, sorry, that's not my thing, or that's not my style. And the thing is, looking at those two tattoos, that artist didn't, you don't know what you don't know. That artist was not capable of doing the tattoo that she brought in. That tattoo that she brought in is very specialized. I mean, very subtle temperature shifts. Very important that you have a complete control over edges, like, you know, from a crisp edge on this little petal to a very soft edge behind it. That's a very complex tattoo that it takes a really specialized person to pull off. And I would say that, you know, there's probably not an artist, I don't know where she was from, but there may not even be an artist in that town that could replicate that, you know, in that way. It's a very specific type of work. And so I don't believe that the guy who did the tattoo on her sabotaged her. I think that he saw it, didn't understand what he was looking at, and probably made his best attempt. And the thing that makes it tough in that situation is that, you know, it's difficult for her probably to look at that tattoo and understand how tricky that piece is, and that it really takes a professional, not just a great tattooer, but someone who really understands, you know, principles of you know, of making something look believable. You know, very subtle tonal shifts, and, you know, and temperature shifts, and, you know, and edge control, and all of this stuff that goes into making that tattoo. That's hard to do, you know, and she probably just didn't realize how hard it was to do. That's probably a tattoo that you seek out someone who does painterly, soft floral work, and that's all they do.
Yeah,
Those are points. It's easy. It's easy for someone who isn't an artist to look at that and think this is a very simple image. It's just a bunch of flowers. And the truth is it's a very expensive tattoo because the few people who can do it are booked out. You're also going to have to wait a long time probably to get it, you know?
Yeah.
And you're Spanish.
That was what I was going to mention. Like, we haven't heard the other rest of the backstory of, because I get caught, like I was saying earlier, my phone's ringing again, and people just want tattoos right now. So, it's likely that, or again, there's other cases, other countless cases where people want this, but also don't want to wait, to your point, or don't want to pay for it, or, so first you need to educate yourself about art and tattoos to get good ones, and then have the patience to, even sometimes the artists, might take 6 months even to just get an email or a call back, right? And then have the money to be able to invest and know that you have to, hopefully more and more people will get it, right? Because the fact is, we could actually see more better tattoos than ever, and the opportunities to educate yourself are more than ever.
Thomas in the Fireside chat on the side here said portfolio style observation is one of the most overlooked facet of clients seeking seeking work, seeking copies of others' work and style. No research, no hope. And yeah, I mean, not just looking at a portfolio and seeing if they do clean tattoos, but to Damon's point, looking and seeing if they do similar tattoos. Just because someone did a really beautiful Japanese koi on your friend's forearm doesn't mean they should do the portrait of your dog whenever it passes away.
Right.
I think they're just seeing that they do tattoos and they're like, oh, they're a good artist, and they're looking they're not educated in what to look for.
Now that said, maybe we could end up with a quickie question, but like, this isn't even to pass judgment on a lady, right? I'm presuming that we all got a couple years of shitty tattoos before we understood, what good tattoos were and started to get a rework and stuff. I think I lasered off my first 10 years of tattoos or lightened it up to rework them. And so, the advice and the critique isn't coming from any sense of like anything other than, been there, done that, don't blame them, blame yourself, because, you did it. And then, if you want to, you can burn that shit out from the inside all the time thinking, see, Mom, I can't fix this.
Well, it's tough because there's the ability to evaluate art is a talent in itself. And not everybody has that, the same as not, I can hum along to a song that's being played, but not everybody can. I have the talent to do it, but not everybody does. And so I definitely understand. It's not a knock on anybody, I realize too, a lot of artists that do what we call bad tattoos think they're really killing it, and they don't know because they drew better than anyone in their family and their mother loved their art or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but when life slaps us in the face, it's our responsibility to figure out how to learn from that and move forward in a positive direction,
Yeah,
100%. And we can control the actions that we can take, and not anybody else's, right? So everyone has the ability to, again, either look at that and complain that somebody did that to them, or be like, I will make sure that no one does this to me again.
Yeah,
awesome.
Too bad for that lady. I'm sorry for her.
That was actually that was the first time I'd ever seen WTAF written out on something, and it took me a second to realize what was going on.
Actual. I got
actual. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, there's an extra letter in there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
But luckily, we're not too old to like be able to figure out the new code.
I'm so proud of myself right there. I just figured out that right on the fly. I feel like I'm 19.
That's turn, man. Fire.
Yeah,
that's turn fire. Did I use that right?
Whoa.
Okay. So Damon, we want to make sure that you're not too late, or if you have a meeting coming up. Correct?
Oh, I have a couple hours still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me know when we're good, because I will click the we've got like a 5 or 6, or no, sorry, it's a 7-minute video, so that we can leave people with your demo. But I don't want to cut anything short.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll watch it. I'm going to go ahead and clip out right now, though, and say bye to you guys. Damon, good to see you again. I've got a couple of things I need to do before my next meeting. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in, as always. And I'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Awesome. So, Lauren, do you have any last questions for Damon? Now, one of the things that is on my list, whenever I look through my list, is like, leave the audience wanting more. But we have I don't know if you have one more last topic, or
I was curious on your upcoming travel plans and all that good stuff,
Yeah,
where you'll be
perfect.
next.
Well, I am going to slip in a couple tattoo conventions, and I won't necessarily be working super hard, but I'm going to be painting at Hell City in Columbus.
Oh,
I think
cool.
that's so. And then I think I'm going to pop into this Bay Area convention that's also next month, because a couple of my young guys really want me to introduce them to my friends that I know around there. And there's going to be a bunch of people there that I just haven't seen in a long time and would love to catch up with. But I'm doing no work there. I'm going to be waking up late, going to bed early, eating all the food. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, where the date? This is the Bay Area, San Francisco, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's written down on my calendar, which is thankfully it's like 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles away. But yeah, my paper calendar, my non-technologically advanced paper calendar.
Awesome. I mean, it is it's such an important lesson for people for tattooers specifically to realize it's like to disconnect and to leave your, appointment book behind. It's amazing. I bet most people can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine it, but I will get there.
And that's something I learned about myself fairly early on. I can focus on something really well, almost anything, and do a good job at it. So I have things in my life kind of in their spots, and I do what I'm doing when I'm at that spot, and I'm completely present when I'm there.
Amazing. There's executive level authors where that is like the theme of their success. To your point, like making sure everything has their time and place, and you're not multitasking. You have your focus. People feel better that way. Your work performs better that way.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm gonna go eat breakfast while I'm having another meeting and typing out notes for another project. No, I'm joking.
Well, I know you're a multitasker, Dave. And I admire that. But I'm like,
but
that makes me crazy.
But likewise, my goal in my life is to try to stop that, right? Like, so it's I understand it's not as efficient. And the last 6 months too, I've really kind of, as a freelancer, sometimes I'm like, holy shit, now I'm working on, I love freelancing. I love working on other people's projects, but every once in a while, I'm like, it was a little bit easier when I had my own 3 projects, because it was just more focused. To your point, like, it's not efficient necessarily to do that, or as efficient as it could be. So my point is I'm trying to make sure that I'm more present in everything that I'm doing, because I think that's amazing advice. And it's awesome to see you live it. And, again, when I'm flipping through the social medias and I see you hitting these places, like I said, it's whatever it is that you're doing is working really well, it seems. And I'm always psyched to see you influence other artists and clients and collectors to do the same.
Oh, and next fun trip is probably going to be at Iceland road trip in the fall. I just want to take a couple 3 weeks and just drive around and touch the rocks and sit in the pools and just fly my drone around if they'll let me. And just that environment over there is so fucking dragon worthy. Like, yeah.
The drone footage, again, like I said, I'm completely living vicariously through that, because I love the drones. I had a drone work for a hemp farm for a summer. We got a drone. I immediately ran it into the house twice.
Oh yeah.
So I no longer have the drone. I replaced it, but
you can epoxy the arms back onto those things, and they will still, and even if it's not even, the brain in it will still self-correct itself.
It compensates.
It's so crazy.
So I did that, but then to make a long story short, the drone got left in a car that heated up a lot. Not my car. I would never do such a thing, but it was someone else's car. So that the adhesive must have latched onto the like all of a sudden that, it heated up and then adhesived to the fuselage. And so I ended up having, it's all good, but whatever, shit happens.
It turned into a Salvador Dali drone.
Voila.
Melting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like the melting drone, but do you do any of the someday we should have a panel of drone tattooers. Sean Oz, he's in Colorado. He's right around Keystone, right around where we did the tattoo convention a couple of years ago, well, a lot of years ago now. Yeah. And it would be fun to have a couple different drones going. What about the drones? Never mind. We could go crazy with a drone talk, but we're already over time. So Damon, could you look straight into the camera, the soul of the viewer, and let them know what you're about, how they could find you, and then we'll play this demo video that you may or may not even remember doing.
Cool. My name is Damon Conklin. I tattoo out of Seattle, Washington. I've helped co-found the Seattle Tattoo Convention, which I no longer run, but endorse and participate in on some level or another. I own Super Genius Tattoo, where tons of amazing artists work, and I just feel so lucky to be in all of their lives. If for some reason someone wants to get a tattoo from anybody there or from me, you can call the tattoo shop is the best way to do it. And the number is area code 206-322-1630 in Washington State, Super Genius Tattoo, Seattle, Washington, 206-322-1630, and set it up through one of our helpers, which will answer the phone, and we can get the ball rolling from there. I do large scale color tattoos. If what you want is small or super detailed, I love you, and someone else is your person. If what you want is really, really awesome and big and bold, but it's black and gray, I love you, but I'm not your person. But if it is large and colorful and I have a certain degree of creative freedom, man, let's do this shit. You know, I'm super into it. That is the passion. That's my passion. That's why I narrowed out everything else in my life to do just that, because I think that making color makes the world happier. And I think that is the biggest thing I can contribute to the planet before my mortal coil fails me.
Amazing. Wholeheartedly agree. And, you know, part of my love of tattooing, helping people become better people, which helps the world actually become a better place, is obviously directly from you. You know, as Lauren was saying, you know, not to date anybody, but as I was getting into all this stuff in the mid 90s, early 90s, you know, you were one of the people that were right there doing great stuff right from the get-go. And as you were saying, even in the midst of the roller coaster, I've always loved, you know, the energies that have come out and helped. So it's, like I said, it's just awesome to have you on. Very excited. People should absolutely go to the shop. They should do guest spots if they can, or take your advice on how to get better so that they could. And clients and all that will have a great time there. So I'm going to fire up. Lauren, do you have any last words, or you want to tell people how to find you? And then I'll fire up.
Sure. Just again, thank you, Damon, for coming on. All of us will see you in Hell City. Really looking forward to that. It's coming up so quick. You guys can find me on Instagram at Raw Pigments. Otherwise, behind the scenes with some of the cool reinventing events.
I know.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks everybody. I'm clicking the buttons. Feel free to.
Oh yeah,
out.
I almost forgot. I am on Instagram, and my name, Damon Conklin, super easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
Damon
All right.
_ Conklin. Cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Voila, QuickTime Player optimized for click, share, sound. Here we go. I clicked play.
Hi, Damon here from Super Genius Tattoo. This is a little Procreate session. Whoa, back up.
We're just playing it real time. Do you remember doing this, Damon?
This looks like one of my blooper reels.
Oh no. Oh, that'd be funny if it was. No, it's not.
Hi,
I checked it out.
Damon from Super Genius Tattoo.
Good.
This is Procreate with lines in bite-sized morsels, number 2. We're gonna try that again.
Oh, you're right. Let me hear. I'll fast forward here for everybody.
That's funny.
Hi, this is Damon from Super Genius Tattoo.
No, we're not. We're just running it.
Procreate bite-sized
you do the whole
morsels,
thing, you can see here at the
number
bottom.
2. Please do not Google search that term. I just have a bad feeling about it. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about lines. Lines are the first thing that one tends to do when they're going, what is this Procreate thing? I've been drawing all my life, but now I'm doing this. There's the brush menu. You scroll down, you find the thing you want. You click on it, and this unfolds for you. Here, you can see what your line is looking like, how it's behaving, how it reacts to more and less pressure coming from your stylus or your Apple Pencil. Streamline is a tool you can use to affect the smoothness of the line. You can turn Streamline all the way up, which I often do because I'm kind of an old shaky guy, or you can turn it down. Maximum and minimum size affect how the brush will behave when you adjust its size when you're in the main Procreate menu. Dynamics, color dynamics, I don't mess with that ever. Rendering, grain, it behaves a lot like shape as far as editing it. In the shape, you can, as I'm tooling around here, trying to remember how this goes, eventually I'm about to realize that you can change that shape.
This is hilarious.
You know what?
Go into
It's amazing
edit.
for people to see in real time, though. Too.
And there's the shape. You can import, and you can try importing a file. A file will take you to your files menu. You can go to import a photo, and that will take you to your photo menu where you can try to use a picture of a tree as a brush or whatever. And then the simplest way is to go into the source library, where a bunch of preloaded Procreate sources are available, many of which are used in brushes that are in your palette somewhere, some maybe not. And you can play with these and do what you want.
For as clumsy as this is,
Going
it does
back
go through
into
a
the main Procreate window,
Yeah.
people go through.
this is where you can duplicate a brush. So if you want to experiment with modifying a brush, you just go to this, you duplicate it, and you can create your own brush by naming it there. When you sign it, underneath the where I'm typing right now, where it says sign here, that will lock the brush in. And if my memory is correct, you cannot modify after you do that. For naming the brush, which is probably more valuable at this stage, simply click on that and type in, I put experiment because it's an experiment for my benefit and maybe possibly some of yours. Properties, minimum size, maximum size. If you make those the same, you'll be able to lock in the size of your brush so you can't change it in your main Procreate menu. We won't be playing with that for now. For here, we'll go into shape, edit the shape.
That's the thing I do use. But
That's the shape. We're going to change it. Yeah. We're not going to import a photo, even though we're going through this little rigmarole again. We're not going to import a file, even though we're doing that again, but we're showing you where we can go. And finally, we're going to go into the source library. Pick something, boop-a-doo. Scroll through. Think about some stuff. Grain source, those look pretty trippy. Anyway, we are going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to eventually decide to settle on lightning.
It's like even worse than watching somebody else.
This simply just affects the shape of the brush. If you just tap the brush, it'll make a tiny, tiny little lightning thing. So theoretically, those lines are made out of lightning. Isn't that fancy?
theoretically,
There you go. Okay.
See, when you increase the size of it, it becomes a little more apparent. At a smaller size, who knows?
You're like, of all the videos you must have on your hard drive.
this is one
Scrolling
that
ahead a little bit, changing it to a little bit more useful source image, and that's just something a little bit simpler. So it creates kind of like a brushy thing where it can be wider and thinner, and that is more or less that. There we go. We write my name, and I think at that point we go tooling around here. We're probably going to end up
We could wrap it up in
adjusting let's see here, what are we doing? Oh yeah, adjusting the streamline, so I could show you the difference between the streamline and the regular. The regular has a little bit more natural looking effect. The streamline is good for making really precise lines, and that is more or less that. Thank you. Good night.
Awesome. So you now you made a whole bunch of those. So that was admittedly one that I searched for and I found on my hard drive that was an appropriate length. But I know that you did like another half dozen of them, and you were getting into the producing of them, and then
yeah. I got a bunch of them are in my my videos in my Instagram page. So yeah, and I probably in there I might have 15 to 20 of them. Some are me talking through a drawing I did on Procreate. Some are me talking about the details of how to use the different tools or whatever. But yeah.
Awesome. And then when they're on their Instagram, do you have like a folder set up, or do they have to like keep scrolling to find them?
I don't have a ton of videos in there, so most of the videos
like 15.
there are those. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not like I have 700 videos and you got to go find them. There's probably like 25 videos and like 20 of them are that. So
Perfect. Awesome.
the other 5 are drone footage.
Which is awesome too. Like I said, it's when you were showing the drone through, like, I don't know, it was like a bridge, like a medieval bridge, you know,
Oh, yeah.
around and shit. Like, oh, come on. Now, you know, when you get the 180 3D cameras,
Oh yeah.
all of a sudden now we're like talking literally 3D flying
Oh,
through
right,
VR
yeah.
space.
Yeah, oh, shit. I'm
Anyways,
gonna have to
not to plant that idea seed. Just saying that, you know.
the seed has already hit the soil and the rain has begun. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. We can't get into anything else because we do have to go because there's other things. But have you gotten into the Oculus 3D stuff?
You know, I have one, but it's my friend has it now, and I don't like having the thing on my head.
Yeah,
I
the interface is still.
Yeah, I like what it does. I'm excited for the future of more comfortable headgear for a better experience. Yeah,
It'll get into the glasses soon enough.
no doubt, no doubt.
Awesome. Well, hey, as always, it's a fantastic pleasure. Thanks again, and yeah, we'll see you at Hell City, if not catching up before.
Right on. I'll see you then. Have a good one.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks again.